my God, it's been a busy. Gotta go. Yeah, like the old commercial. Gotta go right now. I forget what commercial was that. Wasn't that Charmin? The Bears, right? I think that was Charmin. And then they went to the Cha-Cha-Cha Charmin. But I'm pretty sure that was Charmin. I know it was the toilet paper commercial. That was like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, somewhere in that range. Anyways, so we're back with another video. Oh, I forgot my little. Well, hey guys, I'm gonna turn. That's gonna be my thing. But no, we're back with another video. We're actually gonna talk about who trained me. We're gonna talk about these two guys. There was two trainers. I'll get into that. Why? Nothing they did, but I had two trainers. We had Norm. He was full trans. He was doing at the time, Costco dedicated. And all he did was go Salt Lake to Denver every day. Like Salt Lake, he'd go pretty much every other day. So you go Salt Lake, Denver, and the next day he'd take either an empty or a back haul back. And if it was back hauls, it was either pet food or water, and he usually went up to like the Walmart DC up in Corinth. But Norm was an older guy. If I remember right, he told me he'd been training for like 13 years. Driving for like 20. He was a nice old guy though. I want to say he was like mid-60s. Nice guy. He was a local to Salt Lake. So he always had his 70, taking it home. He took it at home. So I was pretty much hugging the truck at the yard. But I don't think Norm is quite used to people like me. 'Cause I'm a talkative guy, high energy, and if you let me, and if you catch my interest, I'll ask a shit ton of questions, and I'll pretty much annoy you with asking questions. I'm here to learn, If I'm in your truck, I'm here to learn, and I expect you to teach me. Or at least give me other perspectives for me to think about. Because I don't want to get complacent. Complacent makes me pay less attention. I don't think that's the right way to phrase it, but I'll pay less attention. You gotta hold my attention, and that means you gotta be pushing me. Now, training on the Costco to Costco, so Costco DC in Salt Lake to Costco stores in Denver, has the pros and cons. Pros, a shit ton of room. A shit ton. There's only one store over in Denver that I struggled with, and that's because Nora preferred that I did the offset on the right around. It had one of those little parking curbs, those little end of the parking spots that had like a little curb thing that had like plants or a rock in it or whatever. Yeah, we had a back around that. So your trailer would be halfway, your trailer would be halfway up the middle of that thing. So you'd have to offset around it. He preferred me to be on the right, but to me, after I tried on the left, the reason why a lot of people like to park on the left side, closer to that dock, so it was literally, you were at the mercy of cars being there, so it's much easier to have you just get used to the harder side. That was easier for him because he's been doing it for fucking every day, but harder for the new guys because it is a blind side. It's a blind side offset. So we got that store a lot too. That was that store we mostly went to. It was like there's 4 stores we went to, and that was the one we mostly went to. But I was able to try the other side, the side ones, and it was much easier because obviously you can see. But you still had to back around. You still had to back offset around that end curve thing. I don't know what they call those things. But you still had to back around that, offset around that. But it was much easier to see where I can put the trailer, especially as I'm learning, than it is to blindside around that and barely see it in my mirrors. Because I want to be able to see the end of the trailer, not that curve that once I get a good feel for it, I won't have to worry about it. But eventually the store told the people to start parking so damn close to the docks so the trucks could use both sides. Because there's 2 docks there too. Then eventually they became easy. They parked about halfway down it, so we had like 9 or 10 parking spots deep that we could just drive up into and offset around it. But no, it's pretty cool. That the only downside of trying to dedicate is there wasn't really a lot of ways he could push me. I mean, it was a 10-hour route, so how we split it up, he found out, which was lucky for him, that I like driving nights, so he also let me sleep in this way too. But he would take the morning shift, drive the first 5.5 hours. He worked the first week. He drove a little more to work me into driving longer and staying up longer, because that's just the way he does it. But for like the first week, he sat in a chair, right next to me. But he would drive coming out of Salt Lake. He'd drive to about William Sutter, and then I would take over. But if you're coming from the other side, he'd drive to about Rawlins. Pretty much the same thing, Rawlins, William Sutter, and then we switch. So I'd be getting to Salt Lake at night. So it gave me a lot of good experiences from driving at night. The downside was, only really downside about this is I never learned early on how to set up for normal situations, because I had all the room in the world. I didn't have to worry about 45 degrees. I didn't do 90s. A couple of the stores were 90s only, but I didn't have to worry about cramped backing situations, or how to like adjust my setups slightly to account for normal shipper and receiver situations. And so, but all of a sudden, like Norm, I was only with Norm for 2 weeks, and nothing he did, Norm liked me, I liked Norm. I only had about 2 weeks left, and all of a sudden Norm's at home time, and he gets a call Sunday before he comes back out to get on the truck, saying, "Hey, we're gonna give you a new student." Nobody told me at this point. Nobody told me anything. I didn't know anything about this. And Norm, I guess the first question Norm asked was, did he tell him? And they said, "No, you can do it." So I'm over here getting ready to go. I at this point I already know when Norm usually shows up. So I'm sitting there ready, and I'm like, Norm's like an hour and a half late. What's going on? Because usually we head out about 2:30. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, what's going on? And all of a sudden Norm comes out and said, "Hey, I don't know exactly what's going on, but you're getting a new trainer." And I was like, "What? Why? What's going on?" He's like, I didn't ask for it. I liked you. I wanted to keep you. But I guess what happened is somebody was told along the lines I didn't want to do reefer. Which, alright, whatever. So let's move on to the second trainer. The second trainer at the time was at home time. They wanted him to drive up somewhere so we could meet up. I proposed that it'd be much easier if I just drove down to him, because I can get there quicker. And they paid for a rental car, they paid for a hotel for that one night. So I stayed in Vegas because he lived down in Kingman, Arizona. And then I got on his truck. Only shitty situation about this whole thing was, he was a port guy. He used to pull in those like 40-foot trailers. That the contract expired. That was moving to 53-foot dry van temporarily until they get another contract for him. And so he wasn't exactly 100% comfortable, because he'd been doing port for like 5 years. He wasn't 100% comfortable or remembered how to do a drive of 53-foot. Like, he had to kind of readjust himself and relearn too the first week and a half. But also, as soon as I got on his truck, about 3 days into it, I get really sick. And I mean, I am down for the count. I can't stay awake for more than like 4 to 5 hours. There was one point I actually slept 17 hours. Luckily, he could tell I wasn't faking it. And at this point, like, he made sure that I got my backs in when I was up, and then just because the drive time is easy. You don't focus on the drive, just focus on the backing. But he understood that I'm trying, but I'm struggling. I don't have the energy, and I'm fucking wheezing, I'm coughing, my voice is like hoarse. I got the flu, and and I got this back in February, so it's when we switched. It could have been the corona, I don't know, but all I know is it brought me down hard. But when I get sick anyways, I don't get sick often, I go down hard anyways. So I don't know, it felt normal to me when I went down. But he was also the type of trainer too that, hey, as long as you didn't, respect his bed, if he's driving, he'll let you sleep on the bottom. As long as you respect his area. So that means just lay on top of the covers, it's his pillow, not yours. So just bring your blanket and your pillow down, and you can sleep on top. But what sucked though, because I was with him 2 weeks, is I was sick, really sick the first week, and as soon as I started getting better, we kept trading into each other. He got sick. That's what happens when you're teaming two in a truck. So you get sick, you're gonna give it to your partner, and as soon as your partner, it's gonna take you a couple times of getting it before it finally gets kicked out of the truck. It's gonna bounce back and forth a couple times. But it really sucked, because it was like, he was OTR at this point, and I was like, yeah, this is what I need to learn. I want to learn everything I can. But as soon as I got in there, about 3 days into it, coming out of the first trip, it hit me, and whatever I got, it brought my ass down. Like, I got fucking just curb stomped. And luckily he was a team player. Because honestly, I don't think I would have made it if he was forcing me to, like, you say, no, you need to drive your full shift. I don't think I'd have been able to. It just hit me too hard. But no, he said, okay, here's what we're gonna do. You drive as much as you can, and then I'll use my full clock. So you got to roll the restart in this second week while I was driving, as I fully recovered. But it's just as I started coming off his truck, to upgrade, I got sick again as he was recovering. It sucked. That whole fucking shit. Like, I like the dude. He was a funny dude. But I usually drove the nights, and he allowed me to start pushing myself too, so I could start getting used to running long hours. Because I mean, when I was going solo, I already knew I wanted to run hard. I didn't want to do this fucking twiddle my thumbs and sit somewhere for the recap shit. And I'm a young guy too, so I might as well use my energy while I got it, and then just adjust a little bit as I need it. Because honestly, your first 3 months are gonna be your hardest. Let me take a drink here real fast. I bought another Bang, and now I remember after drinking this why I don't like it. These things are nasty. And I even tried a flavor I like. I tried the mango flavor. Now Norm had a Freightliner, the Cascadia, the new model. But the second guy had the International, and it seemed to be that the first guy and I both liked the Freightliner. Second trainer, neither of us liked the International. It just had a lot of quirks. It just had quirks, and that's really what it was. International was also a little lacking on space, interior space. But I mean, this video can't really be that long. I just want to give you, the basic rundown of, who trained me, how it went. I mean, not much you can really do, especially a year later at this point. So hey, you guys stay safe out there. Catch you next time. Bye.